Today on Jason Rex Everything, wow, how can you not talk about the complete propaganda piece of putting Dr. Anthony Fauci up there for other wrestlers to jump in on and kind of beat in the new Royal Rumble. So today, we're going to wreck a lot of things about government, COVID, viruses, because this is what it's all about. It accomplishes many things at the same time. So this Fauci non-testimony, where he pleads the fifth, it's like wrestling. So as long as you know that regardless of what you're seeing, these people are actors. They are wrestlers. And that includes Rand Paul, and that includes Dr. Fauci, and that includes the head wrestler, the orange wrestler in the United States. He's the head wrestler right now, the Orange Goblin. They work for the real owners of what you call the United States, which is a corporation. It's a for-profit corporation, and their profits move skyward the more you believe they're not wrestlers. So if you went to wrestling when you were a kid, you would have probably believed that, Randy Macho Man Savage and Hacksaw Jim Duggan and, Roddy Piper and Hulk Hogan and The Rock and John Cena. The more you believe they're really fighting, and the more you get emotionally involved in this fake battle, the more profit as a wrestling fan is going to be extracted from you. You're probably not only going to go watch a wrestling match at a stadium or something, but you're probably going to have some merchandise as well. You probably have some, I'll just show some of the beautiful buildings here. You're probably going to have some posters. You're probably going to have some t-shirts. You're probably going to have some bandanas. I mean, you can have a lot of John Cena merchandise. You can have a lot of Hulk Hogan merchandise. And then when you finally grow up and you realize they're wrestlers, you probably stop going, you stop watching, you stop giving your energy to that spectacle. But you realize that some people still think it's real, and that's the awakening movement in a nutshell. We realize that Anthony Fauci is a highly paid actor. He works in the corporate franchise called the United States. It is a for-profit organization, and putting on this spectacle adds to the massive $1 trillion bottom line in profits of this for-profit corporation called the United States. I mean, it's really that simple. So what are they really accomplishing by putting on this wrestling show? Well, it's quite simple. I mean, there's a couple things being accomplished. One is you get emotionally back involved in the wrestling match, and you believe they're really fighting when really there are no enemies in Washington, D.C. They are all staff of the original corporate owners who were out in the open at one time. They started the United States as the 13 colonies. They started Canada. They started Australia. They took over Russia. They took over China. They took over Iran. They took over India. They took over Pakistan. They took over all these places. And they found it hard to rule all you people tyrannically as a single, like, you put a lot of attention on them. The Canadians hated the royals because they would tax them and abuse them. The people in the US colonies hated the royals because they would tax them and abuse them. The Australians hated the royals because they would tax them and abuse them. The people in India had enough of the royals. The people in Pakistan had enough of the royals. All right? And so the royals who own the land are going to give it back. Like, if you think they're just going to give up and give it back, so they had two options. Okay, give up and give it back, or fake freedom it. Give you fake freedom and run your countries from the back end and just suck and suck and suck all the profit, what you call taxes and all this other stuff that they send across to other countries. I mean, who started Israel? The UK royals, Lord Balfour, and there was a lot more going on within, the starting of Israel started like just general chatter in the early 1900s, and some people say Israel as a state goes back a lot farther, but the chatter and the hard asset organization of Israel was the UK royals, happened in the UK. So ruling you as some sort of like a single person. So when people get pissed that they're getting treated badly and there's like a single entity that like 60 Commonwealth nations can hate at one time, gets kind of sticky for that ruling family, which is the UK royals. And they're like, how do you think you get to own 60 Commonwealth countries and then force many other countries to be your allies through marriage to your own bloodline? How do you think you get there? You get there because you're psychopathic murderers, killers, okay? So they gave you a fake independence. They gave everybody the fake independence. The same thing happened everywhere. Do you not? India, fake independence. Pakistan, fake independence. Canada, fake independence. Australia, fake independence. US, fake independence. All right, they just pretended. You got a statue in the central area. You got a holiday. You got your own flag, and then you got the actors. You got the actors. Everybody got the actors. They got the wrestlers, so that you can cheer which wrestler is going to do the bidding of the royal family. Like, this is not rocket science, people. You don't need a PhD in political science to figure this out. That when you have a choice between actually giving up and giving back the land mass, that these land masses, like Canada's worth like what? $60 trillion or something. Look it up. What is Canada's resources worth? Trillions and trillions of dollars. And so what? You either A, give it back to Canadians, or B, fake give it back, have all the fake independence and all the fake freedom, and just run your asset as you see fit from behind the shadows, starting the WWF, the World Wrestling Federation of Politics, and controlling each political party to do exactly as you wish. I mean, even in Canada, you have the Prime Minister, each Canadian Prime Minister, and you can look it up, go look up Justin Trudeau swearing-in ceremony, or Mark Carney swearing-in ceremony. Go look it up. There's a swearing-in ceremony and the actual swearing-in where the Prime Minister makes vows to whoever he's going to make vows to. It's only 3 minutes long, and he vows his loyalty and his secrecy to the Canadian people. No. To morality. No. To the rule of law. No. Who does he vow loyalty to and secrecy to? So help me God, which means they can kill you. That's what so help me God means. He makes a vow to the UK royal family and all their heirs. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where it starts. So they send you to school to format your brain. That's why they call it the formative years. And that's why they want you to go earlier and earlier, because the earlier and earlier you go, the easier it is to format lies right into your brain. And then they're going to format your brain to make you believe that all the countries are separate, that your politicians are working on for your best interest. And so when you bring that formatted brain to this battle, you are up what's called destination fact. You are up the creek without a paddle, because if you have your brain formatted to believe that these actors are not actors and that Hulk Hogan is really fighting Randy Macho Man Savage, you have no bandwidth. You have nothing in the hard drive to help you understand what is going on in the world right now. Like, you have no ability to. And you see these people, and I'll tell you something, you can only speak and develop ideas with the thoughts and programs that you have. So the average person will look at Fauci, look at Trump, look at Rand Paul, look at COVID. And if all you have is the standard programming that the government, which would be the UK royals, put into your head, you're not going to be able to process the con job that you're already living inside of. You have no ability to process it, because you just keep regurgitating and flying back and circling over the same ideas over and over and over again. It's like, yeah, get him, Rand Paul, get him. You know, Trump's gonna come in. It's like wrestling, right? Like, it's like the Royal Rumble. Trump's coming off the top turnbuckle, and here comes Rand Paul with a flying elbow. And that Fauci, you know, that evil Fauci, the grave digger. You remember in World Wrestling Federation, the grave digger. Yeah, Fauci's gonna get served, you know, a can of whoop ass from The Rock. Are you serious? If anybody believes this, they have to wake up, and they got to wake up fast. Because all you hear, and if you want to learn what repetition is the mother of all mind control, go watch my documentary called Planet Mind Control at planetmindcontrol.com. It's completely free, because if you start listening to this horse and pony show, this spectacle, this Royal Rumble spectacle, this congressman came in off the top turnbuckle, this congressman came down the hallway, he wasn't even expected in the Royal Rumble, go get Fauci. And if you're believing this, you have an infantile mind. These people are Jesuit trained. Fauci, look it up, is a Jesuit. He went to a Jesuit school. I've heard lately that RFK Jr. also went through Jesuit training. Trump as well, easy to find, went to a Jesuit college where they learn to lie for a living. You know why they learn to lie for a living? Because the Jesuits are a society of power brokers who figured out long ago these are not complex ways to screw you over. They learned long ago that the average human can be programmed like a walking biological computer to react in the way the programmer wants them to react in, simply by lying to them. So lying is an actual master skill as one of the secret society Jesuit members. So Fauci doesn't have to lie, but he played his scripted role, pleading the fifth, which would of course get everybody up in arms and make sure everybody takes the I'll get behind the red tie guy, and I'm going to get behind my political party, the blue tie guy, and we're going to keep doing the Royal Rumble. Folks, the repetition involved in this is very, very simple. They started talking about the Wuhan lab leak, Wuhan lab leak. They just kept talking to you because the thing is, if you ever find out that there's no viruses, this whole game is over. It's over. And they've proven that a long time ago. So they need you believing in one of two camps. So this is the free dumb plan, where you get the illusion of choice. You get freedom to believe two lies that brings you down into the same end cul-de-sac all the time. So Coke or Pepsi, you're still fat and overweight. Pizza Hut or Domino's, you're still fat, sick, and overweight. You can have the Yankees, or you can like the Red Sox, you can like the New England Patriots, or you can like the Dallas Cowboys. You can take Crestor or Lipitor for your high cholesterol. These are the fake choices. This is fake freedom. Freedom. D-U-M-B. F-R-E-E-D-U-M-B. Where you get every freedom to choose between two equally fatal options. So whether you believe lab leak theory virus, which is proven never even to this gain of function, proven, if you go to Sasha Latypova's work on Substack, you will see that gain of function isn't even possible in the way they're talking about. And there's no virus to gain the function of. So why do they lie to you like this? So why the massive wrestling match? Well, they want you in the free dumb arena where you think your party is going to get the best of the other party, and your hero in the red tie is going to kick the ass of the guy in the blue tie. That's where they want you, but they also want you with this fake choice, the dichotomy, this illusion of choice where you are going to be herded into one of two camps. That's where they want you. They want you in either natural COVID virus camp, because when you're there, they got you, or you can believe you're enlightened and you can take this other fake pathway because they know you need fake choices, that you're going to believe in a lab leak, gain of function Wuhan virus. Those are your two choices, and they nail that over and over and over and over again. That was really what this is about, to reinforce the illusion of choice between what you believe and no COVID virus, SARS-CoV-2. If you go to the Fair Food Forager podcast interview with Christine Massey, you will see that Christine Massey requested through FOIA request from, I think, like 40 countries, proof that COVID, SARS-CoV-2, so COVID is the catch basket of symptoms that represents an infection with the virus SARS-CoV-2, and none of the countries could provide the natural sequence of the virus, which means it never existed, nor did it have to. COVID never, ever had to exist in order to make this work, because mind control is actually that powerful. It can make you believe in things that don't exist whatsoever. Mind control has that capability And it can do it so easy, like the snap of the fingers. It can make you believe anything at any time. And if you don't believe in the power of mind control to fool you to this extent, go watch my documentary, planetmindcontrol.com. So they need you believing in viruses. They're going to try to lock your asses down again. Most likely in the fall of this very year. And this is why it was very important to put on this horse and pony show, because number one, it allows the current president to fake signal and virtue signal to his mind-controlled fan base that he's doing something about the corruption, and you'll see nothing will happen. The COVID shot is still available for kids, pregnant mothers, everybody across the United States. This is the propaganda, so people start believing again, because they've done this for all elections. They did it for, say, it was in the first presidential run of DJT, where he said, and the wrestling there was, and the acting in that presidential campaign between Hillary Clinton and DJT was something that deserved an Academy Award, because they knew their lines before they started going in. Hillary Clinton, back in 2016, said, "I would never want the likes of Donald Trump being in charge of our legal system." And then Donald Trump delivered his line, and he said, "Because you'd be in jail." And then everybody gets really electrified and emotionally involved and thinks that he's going to throw Hillary Clinton in jail. And then as soon as he was elected, he said, "Oh, the Clintons are my best friends." And that was the end of that. And he did it. And same thing this time. And again, he's not inventing any of these things. He's not saying his line. Ric Flair and the Ultimate Warrior and John Cena, they don't invent their lines in wrestling either. So in this presidential run, he said no more wars, no more sending our boys home out to die, and no more neocon wars. And then once he's elected, bang, oh, forget about that, let's start some more wars. They know you have a memory like any other human. They've tracked it. They've data mined it. They know how long it takes you to forget. They know the emotional buttons they need to press to make you forget about people lying to you. So they're doing it again because it's that time of year. That's why it's a 4-year presidential cycle, and the midterms are every 2 years, because it's actually about every 2 years the human brain can be tricked and completely subverted once again, where people, they have short memories. It's about a 2-year span where they forget the emotional impact of the person that lied to them only 2 years ago. So they want you believing in viruses. They don't care if you believe in lab leak viruses, gain of function, or natural. You have to believe in viruses in order for their lockdown and the modification of laws, where they've made some illegal moves in your legal system to make sure they can take away all your human rights, take away all your freedoms, which is illegal. But if you believe there can be dangerous pathogens floating in the air, you'll get behind those particular illegal modifications of certain statutes and clauses that rule your legal system, and you'll throw your own constitution out and in the United States and wipe your arse with it because you're afraid. And when you're afraid, it changes brain function, it lowers your IQ, and it makes you like a child, and you're unable to think your way out of the mousetrap that this group arranges for you all the time. So you really need to start understanding that what you see on the TV, and it's blasting all through social media now, It's scripted. It's a wrestling match. They're actors. They're paid to say their lines. No one is going to jail. No one has gone to jail yet. No one will go to jail. No one will go to jail unless you grow up and understand that the wrestlers are paid to deceive you, and that there's a force above the corporate franchise that you call your country organizing your for-profit human farming area. And this Fauci thing will increase profits wildly now and in the future, because it's going to keep people believing in viruses that don't exist, which will give future profits. So when the lockdowns occur, they can only occur if you actually believe that there's something that floats in the air. And there's not. There never has been, nor does there have to. You just have to believe there is. And that allows them and, helps suck the power out of your area, out of your personal sovereignty. You outsource your personal responsibility to these criminals, which is all they need. And then they're just going to run your life right into the toilet as they enrich themselves with all the changes that they're going, all the modifications of your society, which they're going to implement when they throw the switch on the next fake pandemic, which I believe they will do in November of this year, once Trump wins and people are like, he's not going to win. He shouldn't, but he will, because they said they were going to fix the election. You remember they said, we're going to fix the election. They tell you, yeah, they're going to fix it. They've always fixed it. It's always being fixed. You don't have a say. You have owners. You have people who own you, and they believe they own you until you start acting like no one owns you. And stop waiting in line to demand the red tie guy or the blue tie guy steal your money and poison you in order that you're less strong to defend yourself from the poisoning. That's why they poison the shit out of you, because the weaker you are, the more they can steal from you. Come on, people. It's time to wake up and just see this horse and pony show for what it is. Like, it is a wrestling match. It is a Royal Rumble. This is a Royal Rumble. If you don't know what a Royal Rumble is, it was a special event in the World Wrestling Federation line of events where there would be a spectacular battle of all the stars. And we're getting all the stars in here. We got the RFK wrestler, the DJT wrestler, we got the Fauci wrestler, we got the Rand Paul wrestler, and anybody else that can be thrown into the Royal Rumble, they will, because the more emotional you are, the less able you are to figure any of this out. The more emotional in your mind, the less you can think. So stop getting emotionally involved like Hulk Hogan is kicking someone's ass. There's no kicking anybody's ass. They're both on the same side, just like the wrestlers. After the show is over, they all get on the bus and they go to the next stop, and they count the money along the way. Fauci, DJT, DJT gave Fauci a presidential award for his work during Warp Speed. They're all on the same team, people. They're all on the same team. So just know that as long as you believe in viruses, as long as the people believe in viruses, and if you want to figure out that viruses aren't real in the way that they're advertised, you can basically go to, just email me. Just email me at info@jchristoff.com. I'll give you so many good resources that aren't complicated to prove to you they've been lying to you about viruses the whole time. Yes, people get sick. Yes, sometimes people in the same room get sick, but it's not viruses. It's not viruses that do that, and they know that. And they just need you to believe in it, to keep you afraid, because they have legislation that's already being triggered because there's a state of emergency in the United States triggered by the PrEP Act that right now removes your Constitution. So people in the US, although you're not aware, many of your constitutional rights are actually missing, and they've been subverted by what's called the PrEP Act. It was passed in 2005. It was intended to subvert the US Constitution, and that's exactly what it did. And the Human Health Secretary, which is RFK Jr., could revoke the emergency declaration around COVID to give you your constitutional rights back, but he's not allowed. And the Human Health Secretary, before RFK Jr., he declared the health emergency because of COVID to December 31st, 2029. So you are without your constitutional rights until 2029. And if you figured out viruses don't exist, that pandemic declaration paperwork called the PrEP Act, which removes your constitutional rights in the face of any sort of declared public emergency, that would fall by the wayside. And they need that illegal policies. They need all these illegal policies in the PrEP Act to run you into the ground when they attack you next with the next fake pandemic. So figure this out, and if you want to find out just how fake and fraudulent and deceitful this group has been over the last 100 years, programming you to believe that there are invisible pathogens in the air that can make you sick, and they have to take away your human rights to protect you from them. It's all liarrhea. And the longer you believe in any of these two fake options, lab leak gain of function or natural, the quicker you're going to go to the abattoir at the end of this year, because you know they're going to do it again, folks. And you can see all the cards coming together for them to pull another fake pandemic out of their back pocket once DJT, who's going to fix the election rules, and he will be back in. And then, just like the lies, I'm going to put Hillary in prison. And then that was the first term, and the second term was no more wars and all these other promises. This Fauci witch hunt, which is meant to get all the right-wing people excited again, it's just going to cycle back over when he comes into, regains, he'll always be the president, but he might lose some seats and some power, but they're going to fix that. And then the teeth are going to come out again. The wolf's going to come out again. And then it's game on. And you don't want this game on when the PrEP Act is active because of a fake emergency declaration due to a fake viral threat. And that fake viral threat can be dismantled at any time. And that's why they keep coming around the block over and over again to give you the choice between these two equally fatal options. So figure it out. Go watch my documentary, Planet Mind Control, at planetmindcontrol.com. This is Jason Christoff signing off from sunny Latvia. Have a great day.